Welcome back, welcome back. Battlefield 6 has been on a little upswing ever since Phase 2 of Season 3 dropped. It's titled Blast Point, and I genuinely think the Blast Point that Battlefield Studios is referring to in this update is their assholes. Because during the development of Cairo Bazaar, it seems the map was glued to the floor and the devs blasted doo-doo feces all over it to determine where all the rubble and garbage would be placed. In all seriousness, why do they insist on cluttering up their maps so much? I wouldn't doubt they are using an AI tool to generate the random map garbage everywhere. It feels like they were focused more on making scenes for a movie instead of making a fun map. Getting stuck on a random pebble, weird jutting geometry, or a bike in the middle of a gunfight is actually very infuriating, believe it or not. Alongside that, the map has these weird lighting bugs throughout it. Explosions that happen across the map can be seen through walls. There are these flickering lamps that are flashing right into your eyes when trying to look past them, and the overall lighting field just doesn't have the same grit and tone that Battlefield 3 had. Maybe it's my settings or my nostalgia for the BF3 version, but this remake is bland, and the outer flags are lame to fight over. Just in general, it's a very underwhelming map. It doesn't seem to have the same thought or sentiment put into it as Goldmud had. They went into making Cairo Bazaar as if it was a big map by adding more cover and side routes, but I think with a map of this size, less would have been better. The gameplay of Battlefield 6 is fast, so when they added more openable side routes to this medium-sized map, it just started to flow like shit. Also, I don't think there's any point to add these barricades to the side routes. The destruction of them is mid at best, and it adds nothing to the gameplay to just blow them open. It takes a rocket or two and boom, it's open for the rest of the game. In summation, the map is okay, but their design philosophy just seems like they were trying to pad their resumes by making these highly detailed maps and using AI tools first, rather than making a map that's fun to play on. We really don't need any more small to medium-sized maps either, especially if they're just going to butcher them by not understanding what makes small maps good and what makes big maps good. I really hope it's not too late for them to take the community feedback and implement it into future map design. They'll need to add this map to the list of maps needing a rework because the legacy of Grand Bazaar should not be left as it is here on BF6 at the moment. The remake Chinatown in Battlefield Hardline was 100 times better than this one in all honesty. Now, getting into some other parts of the update, I have really enjoyed the soldier lighting enhancements, and being able to see enemies has kept me playing for longer. Now, this is a double-edged sword because the minute you're spotted in the open by a competent player, you're probably dead. The only players I don't see and get killed by now are corner campers, which is to be expected. I think BF Studios must have a really hard time with the lighting in BF6. It seems like they initially were trying to make the game look like a movie, but all the volumetric dust and smoke alongside the rubble, scene garbage, and particles are just very annoying to play in. I think they completely misconstrued the idea of what Battlefield actually is. They took the name at face value and thought to themselves, oh, battlefields are chaotic, dense with destruction, and war-torn places, which isn't wrong. But actually, it's more than just some random battlefield. It's a game franchise with distinct gameplay, gunplay, and team play that always puts an equal amount of effort into gameplay design as they do set designs. My point here is, if the game's not fun to begin with, or strays from the core Battlefield formula, the rest doesn't really matter because nobody's going to be there to even play it. Moving on to another misguided choices update, RedSec Solos is here and will be on rotation with duos, which says a lot about how many people are actually playing that free slop. I don't have RedSec downloaded and still have no desire to download it. Why play RedSec when there are a million other free-to-play games that do Battle Royale 10 times better? I will never play that mode again for the sole fact that I paid for the full game. I don't want to play the free version of it. I really want Battlefield Studios to succeed when they do great things, but I also like to see them fail when they deserve it, and RedSec has been a well-deserved fail in my opinion. Now that Battlefield 6 is 8 months old, my expectations have been drastically lowered, and my patience with the game is tempered. I've realized the devs are slowly figuring out that they need to actually do quality work to the game instead of meat-riding streamers and YouTubers, while also putting out low-quality AI slop, which is pretty shitty of them to do with all the funding from pre-order/game sales and the backing of a AAA game studio. But hey, at least the content is free, am I right? This update feels like a weird half step in the right direction, and it's going to take many more updates until the game is actually a finished product. I will be there every painful step of the way to collect on my investment and to bring you guys all my thoughts and feedback. Anyway, if you made it this far, thanks for watching and have a good one.